Hey friends, today we're going to talk a little bit about Valentine's, but also shapes and stamps. We have some time right now to focus on some simpler things, to decide if we prefer a word or visual meanings. Holidays before us instituted letters of poem that time redressed, then symbols have turned to sweets and decorum instead of the work. Such dread. Today our goal here will be to make a stamp. It's time to discuss the things that we may use for that. Styrofoam. You can play with. Receptacles. Whoops! Can be redressed. Leaves, stamps will all help us assemble to create prints. Working washable markers, watercolor, or inks are capable of coloring these stamps for colorizing. We're going to set them on paper, then burnish, but no moving while smudging and burnishing your stamp. So let us get started. I dropped a couple things. So I'm going to show you the stamps that I have used to create this print here, and then these two. This one was with watercolor. This one was with marker and watercolor, and then I went back over it with marker. And this one was marker, and it's spelled wrong too. I make mistakes. It's what I do. When you make these prints, most likely you will go through paper because we're using things that are wet. You should set them on top of something. Construction paper, multiple pages, paper sacks. Regardless, you'll go through the paper, so have a plan for that. We're going to use the styrofoam and cut out shapes. You can make prints on them. But what I found was watercolor markers worked the best, whereas more permanent ink markers work still, but don't deliver as much ink on it. Watercolors make quite the mess, but if you use too much watercolor, it'll stamp. Certain stamps have all of the three. Some I found were best for marker printing. Whatever shape you use to print can be repeated to create a different effect. I'm going to collect all these things real quick and I'll be right back. Hi. So I have a couple pages and a surface to work off of. And I'm going to start by folding one, like a hamburger. I could make this smaller or cut it down for size. But I like to create the space to stamp inside. I folded a hamburger first and a hot dog too. But I'm gonna go back and fold in half for you. This way I make several at one time. I'm going to have 8 spaces. Folded for this design. So I have here an egg carton that I have cut up. Of course, you can use other styrofoam surfaces, but I found this one cut rather well. The flatter surfaces work best. So I've been cutting and getting rid of the rest. You might see this shape repeated in my pattern here. But you have options. Okay, first I'll show you a marker print. I'm going to stamp inside of this space. Let's have a leaf-like shape. And use what you find. Hold the side. Wherever you don't fill, you won't print. Try to hold from the edges your best. When you have a full wet color, set it on this. Hold it down. Burnish all around. That is rubbing your stamp on the page. Hold it down. Don't let it move. Let's see what we got. Not much of an image for the marker, but this is a permanent marker. Let's see what else we've got. This marker is less dry. There's more ink on it. Oops, it should print better. If it would quit floating away. Don't you leave me alone. All right. Hold it down again. Burnish your best. I am rubbing this firmly. Let's see what we got. Much better this time. I have 2 here, you see. Let's go ahead and get a heart on there. So I'm going to take this. As you can see, it has marker on it already. I've got several markers. Let's see what works out. A wide tip on the side is best for application. I am not coloring right over my page. styrofoam flying all over this space. Let me hold this down for a moment. Okay. I have applied the ink. So I'm going to set it here and burnish it again. Nothing. I need a wetter ink. Let's try this. Maybe. Oh, too dry. This is wide edge. It should work out better. I hope so. Nope. I have one more pink. It's a highlighter. This is my wettest ink. I'm holding it down while I rub the stamp. I believe I've burnished it well. Woo! Much better. Okay, here we go. So there we have our marker prints. Let's do the same with paint. I'm going to use this watercolor. Any type will do. Get water on your brush. Then set it on the paint cake. Roll that brush. Don't dig it in. Paint your stamp. Then set it on your page. Okay, let's do that again. Wet your brush. Set it on the paint cake. Roll the brush. Get paint on your brush. Paint your print. Set it on the page. Burnish your stamp. Lift it, just like that. Let's do the heart. Wet. Wash your brush. Set your wet brush on your paint cake. Roll your brush. Paint your stamp. Set your stamp and burnish your stamp. Rub all the spaces and lift it like that. And this is the difference. Both marker and watercolor. I have the opportunity to utilize any type of stamp. I could choose to write a note quickly. I could use a ruler and add some lines to frame my print. What I'm doing is creating the illusion of a matted edge. Anything that I add after I have my print is simply decoration. Making fancy things. I could write a little poem and write it on inside. Or make it fun for you. Write something special. I'm cutting this into quarters, half, 2/4, and half to 1/4. Then you can have a bunch of notes. And maybe some fun too. I hope you have a great day creating these for you.